The Las Vegas Raiders' big quarterback competition is just getting started as they are now in their OTAs. It'll go from here to their mandatory minicamp from the 11th to the 13th to training camp in July to their preseason games in August. And in the silver corner is the challenger at 6'1", 225 pounds in his sixth year out of Washington State, Gardner Minshew. In the black corner is the champ at 6'3", 210 pounds in his second year out of Purdue, Aiden O'Connell. O'Connell is the defending champ because he was the Raiders starter for the second half of last season, and head coach Antonio Pierce said he'll get the first snaps as a starter. Who you got in this battle? Either way, this looks like a healthy competition with tons of mutual respect. Minshew is a scrappy journeyman as indicated by him playing for his fourth team going on his sixth year in the NFL. He was a three-star recruit out of high school that landed at Troy University. However, he didn't stay long enough to play. He went down to junior college, then East Carolina, then settled at Washington State. It was there that he played well enough to become the sixth-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2019 NFL Draft. He played there a couple of years, for the Philadelphia Eagles a couple of years, and for the Indianapolis Colts last year. He's a career backup that has quite a few starts due to injury as he's coming off a career-high 13 starts last year. As a passer, Minshew doesn't have a big arm, but he's a pretty accurate dink and dunk artist. He's not the most athletic guy you'll see at the position either. The thing that's special about him is his scrappiness, or moxie. He'll get out of the pocket and scramble a little more too. But Minshew's biggest advantage is his experience. He's played 5 seasons in the NFL to 1 for O'Connell. O'Connell doesn't take a back seat in the scrappy department. No one ever gave him anything either. He went to Purdue as a walk-on, and despite starting out as the 8th-string quarterback, he stayed there throughout his entire college career. By 2020, he climbed that steep mountain to become the starter, but only lasted 3 games due to a season-ending foot injury. He did have a great career at Purdue, though, leading them to their first Big Ten championship game. He also broke Purdue's completion percentage record, previously held by Drew Brees. So then the Raiders drafted him in the 4th round with a plan to sit him, but the Raiders' quarterbacks were horrible. After one unprepared start in Week 4, head coach Antonio Pierce took over the second half of the season and gave him the reins. O'Connell then went 5-4 and showed promise. He threw for 8 touchdowns and no interceptions in the last 4 games. He showed that he has the same moxie Minshew has, but he doesn't use it to scramble. However, his advantage is his arm talent. They say he's been working on his mobility, so we'll have to check for that. This is what Minshew thinks of the competition so far.
It's been great, man. I think we both put together a good camp so far, man. Been pushing each other, but also just enjoying each other, enjoying our room, man. We got an awesome room, not only with Aiden, but with Anthony and Carter. We're having a ton of fun right now, being very competitive, and I think that's only going to make our team better.
With no ill feelings, Minshew has a good idea of how this competition should be won.
Yeah, I mean, I think as any real competitor, you don't want them to be worse. You want yourself to be better, So the better he is, if I'm beating him out, that means I'm just raising it that much more. So that's kind of how I've always viewed it. If he's pushing me and he's completing every pass, I got to figure out a way to do better. So I think that's the only way to really ever improve.
One thing I really like is it's not a me against him thing. This is about the team. Winning comes first in this deal.
Not really, man. It's been pretty smooth. I think, we had initial conversations, just, getting to know each other. And, I mean, one thing, get to know Aiden, he's a team guy. I'm a team guy. We both want to win. We both want to get better. So, I mean, there's really not much conflict of interest there. Yeah.
Minshew actually likes what he sees in O'Connell, too. Listen.
Yeah, I think he's super smart and he's super accurate. As a young guy, he really understands football, understands progressions, timing. And, man, it's fun to watch him interact with the guys, man. He has a ton of energy, and it's just a lot of fun to be around.
O'Connell sees this as a friendly team-first competition, too.
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. Gardner's a great guy, and he's really what you see is what you get, and he's been awesome with me. I think we do a good job of communicating with each other what we're seeing, what we're thinking on each play, because we are both trying to learn this offense at the same time together, and also at the same time, we are both the leaders of the offense, and so we want to make sure when we go out to practice, it's a good practice, and so we want to make sure the offense is running smoothly and we're executing. So it's been a fun competition. How hard?
O'Connell has competed for everything all his football life, so this is really no big deal.
Yeah, I think that's not unique to us. I think that's in any position really, but in especially in this sport, there's only one quarterback can play, and so I think we've both been around long enough, and we both had to compete really our whole lives, and so I don't think it's really anything new for either of us.
He talked about him and his wife staying here in Vegas this offseason so he can put in some extra work.
Yeah, I think me and my wife are both from the Midwest, so I think a big part of it was we didn't want to go back to the cold. We just wanted to stay in Vegas, but obviously just to be here with our strength coaches in our facility with the resources we have is awesome. And so yeah, we love this area. We love to be here and to live here, and so we wanted to stay and also get some great work in our facility.
He talked about leaning on Minshew at times and making all that experience he has benefit him.
Yeah, definitely. I think Guard's in his sixth year, and I've only been in one system before this, and now he's been in a bunch, and so he's seen kind of these similar plays taught a different way, schemed a different way, and so I think communication has been open, and again, he offers what he thinks for each play, and I do the same, and I think it's a good back and forth.
O'Connell also sees the similarities between them.
Yeah, I think I would say our stories are kind of both underdog stories, and having to work to get to the point where we're at. But Guard does a great job, like I said, commanding the offense, caring about attention to detail. He knows, obviously he's been around, so he knows how important the little things are to playing quarterback and for the entire offense. And so, yeah, it's been fun to just get to know him, and yeah.
I see a lot of Raider fans getting angry because most of the media is saying the Raiders have the worst quarterback room in the NFL, but why? That puts things exactly where they're supposed to be, where O'Connell and Minshew have always had them. They've always been scrappy underdog types that have to fight and compete for everything they get. If you're a Raider fan, why would you want it any other way? First, they need to keep battling it out with each other. That friendly competition. Then from there, the winner needs to turn it loose on the rest of the NFL. Who you got in this battle? Thank you for watching. See you next time.